watch club, and this is a test to see how this is going. First time we try to do a podcast and talk a little bit more about watches, and try to combine it with everything else. So our first guest here is Felipe. How you been, Felipe?
Hey everybody, doing good. I had a long day today, man.
Really?
Had to work, unfortunately, so literally just got out of work. I ate.
Where you work?
I work as a project manager at a company.
Project manager at a company.
So we had a pretty big project coming up, and yeah, we've been preparing for like about a year and a half.
Year and a half. So what are you wearing today? That's just one of the.
Well, we decided to touch up on the topic about our first watch. So this is actually the first watch I ever bought. It is a Seiko. I'm not sure what model it is.
It's actually really heavy.
Really?
Yeah, I like it. It's automatic. You can see the mechanisms. I mean, Seiko, these are great watches, bro. I love Seikos. I actually have one Seiko, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. It was actually my first, well, it was not my first watch, but it's one of the first watches that I strongly remember when I really purchased it by myself. So I want to talk about it later. So this is a nice watch. It's automatic, stainless steel.
Man, I bought that watch and I thought it was a baller. I bought it like 3 years ago. It was like at Kohl's. It cost me like $60, man.
$60.
But it's like retail for $300. So
I was gonna say, I mean, isn't it like $60? I mean, $60. It's actually a pretty cool movement, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with it. They said that it was like que le pasó algo, no sé, or it was returned or something. So it was like on discount. Yeah, it was my first watch. Me creía bien como que,
because I have my watch, bro. I'm gonna roll like it.
Como que, ¿cuánto crees que costó este watch? How much do you think this watch is worth? Like, like.
It's just a nice piece, bro.
Yeah, it's honestly still my favorite piece. Funny story about the face. I don't know if you could see, it's kind of scratched.
You say, what happened? You got drunk and fell or what?
I went to Monterrey. And we went in a car. It was the first time that we were driving to Monterrey. And for those of y'all that don't know, if you go to Mexico, you can get away with some drinks on your car, And yeah, I drank a little too much, and we came back, and I don't know. There was like a wall. I don't even know. My friend always makes fun of me because like there was a wall, and I literally como que pues andaba tomado, and I scraped my whole wrist on the wall, man. Like como que creo que I think I was gonna fall, and instead of like putting my hands on the wall, I put my watch, and I just.
That just remembered into a story. It's actually one of my customers. I don't know. He's watching right now, but he just bought a stainless steel sub, 41 millimeters, great watch. So I don't know. He was like in vacation or something. The point is, he went to the store and he was telling me that he wanted to send it for. Like a polish. He was, bro, you barely have 3 months with the watch. What do you want to send it for polish right now? I mean, still have warranty, everything. Just keep wearing it. Something happens, we can always send it back. But he was saying like he was falling, whatever he was, I don't know where he was at. So he was falling. So at the end of the day, he just used his hand and he scratched all his watch. He didn't fail at the end of the day. He was telling me he wish he would have failed instead of scratching the watch.
Yeah, I feel that. I wish I would have squeezed my hand, but.
How do you start collecting?
How did I start collecting watches? Real quick fact before that, talking about the drunken stories. This is my drunk watch. So every time I go out drinking,
that's the way what you want to wear. Yeah, you don't want to mess it up, boy.
So yeah, and I need to change the face on it. But this was actually the first watch. I didn't know anything about watches. One of my buddies used to watches, and I took it to him, and he's like, "Oh, it's cool." And like, I guess the back really grabbed my attention. The automatic movement of it, and seeing the little red thing. What is that little red thing? It's like I see a lot of automatic watches with it. I mean, all of them have it.
Well, it's just part of the movement. It's basically instead of having like more parts with the thing. Supposedly, what I think it is how is it called? I don't remember the name right now, but it's for you to make not friction into the watch. So instead of having
it's like oil or something.
Instead of oil, it's like a gem. So that gem helps with the friction of the watch. I don't know how to explain it in English 100%, but that's basically what it is. I mean, that's when you have a good mechanism, you have more of those parts.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, because I see a lot of videos where like people they repair the automatic watches and they take off that little piece and then they put like a little drop of the red to make the red a little more. I just think it looks cool.
To be honest, when I started collecting, my first think it was, I never really went too much into mechanisms. I'm really not into mechanisms too much, but I like more into like the looks of the watch. So when I start collecting, I mean, I always been in the jewelry industry. My first night watch that I strongly remember was when I was in high school. My grandpa gave me a watch. It was an old Bulova. I actually have it right here, bro. I still keep it.
Oh,
So,
that's slick right there.
so this is the first watch that I remember. It was probably 20 years ago. I was like 10, 12 years, something around. I don't really remember. It was so long. So basically, my grandpa gave it to me, and I was wearing it in high school, and I always, I felt like a baller, like you said. People always tell me crap because I was saying, no, this is a real diamond. This is a very small diamond. This is the first watch. This is the first watch right here.
That looks nice, man.
Bulova.
Imagine not being a high schooler wearing this. Ooh.
It's a Bulova. I mean, I thought it was great. I mean, to be honest.
Bulova too.
And now I'm wearing the blue sky.
Nice.
It's different contrast. But I mean, I always went for the looks. That one, I always gonna keep it into my collection. I just have it like a.
Yeah, I mean, it has emotional value to you. Right?
Exactly. I don't think I'm never gonna sell it.
Would you want to like polish it or change
Nah,
the
I
face?
think I'm just gonna
nah?
keep it. I'm just gonna keep it just the way it is. I don't think it's really necessary. Probably I'm not gonna wear it for a while. So I'm just gonna keep it as a.
You can give it to your son.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably his first watch, so he can mess it up.
Well, we're talking about first watches, and I used to have a lot of
And then I'm gonna
30
show you
watches.
this one. This is the one that I was telling you that this is the first watch that I really remember that I bought it with my own money. I was working in a kiosk.
Oh, it's a Seiko.
Yeah, it's a Seiko, and I liked it because it looks very similar to a Datejust, like gold Datejust.
Yeah, it does. It looks.
And then I got the real gold Datejust, but I got it. This is the original bracelet that it's supposed to have on the Datejust, but I got it with the presidential one. I think it's like an Italian bracelet or something, but I still always look really nice.
That's slick.
But it's very, very similar to that.
I'll show it to the camera. So.
Seiko.
Yeah, I think Seiko's a really good brand. Like at work, people kind of know that I'm into watches, and they'll ask me like, what's a good starter watch? And I don't want to drop like more than like $200, $300 on a watch. I always tell them that Seiko is a pretty good start. Like
Good. I mean, they're really great watches. Seiko, they're actually Grand Seikos are one of the best watches in the world. One of the best mechanisms. So it's a really cool watch. And it's a really cool brand. It's Japanese, if I'm not mistaken. So
the Grand Seikos?
All Seikos.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Yeah, Grand Seikos are Swiss, right? Well, the mechanism is Swiss.
So. I could be
Not sure.
wrong. I think they might be Japanese too, but they're just like, I guess.
Yeah, they're all Japanese.
But I was seeing some videos on there, and it's crazy the movement of those things. And personally, for me, I like how watches look.
I know you have a tag Heuer, right? The one that I remember you bought it at the store. It was Aquaracer.
Yeah.
I really remember the post you made on Facebook. It was really cool.
Oh yeah.
What do you feel when you bought your first tag? Like
it was nice, man. It was it wasn't so much and I guess people don't really understand the concept of watches. Like it's an expensive timepiece, and it's nice and everything, but like a lot of people kind of do it as milestones. So for the tag, for me, it was
like a big milestone. Like you felt like damn, I made it. Like this.
I remember being in college, man. I had a job working like 20 hours a week. I was getting paid like $8 an hour, and like I would go on the tag website and look at the watches, and I'd be like, man, one day when I get it, like I guess my first big boy job, I'm gonna get myself like a tag, because like I mean, obviously, Rolexes are like I don't know. I thought like tags were a little more affordable.
Yeah,
than
of course.
But
I do have a tag Heuer.
Really?
Yeah, I have an Aquaracer. Remember, I think it's very similar to one you have, but mine is the rubber bracelet. Yeah, I wish I could have it with the stainless steel. I don't know why I got it with the rubber. Should have just got the steel and then bought the rubber inside. I think it's better. Yeah. But I mean, it's a pretty cool watch. I really enjoy it too much. When I go to the island, that's what I wear. Go to the beach.
Watch,
it's a really cool, nice piece.
But yeah, it was like a lot. Like it meant a lot to me, because like I mean, I just remembered like being in college, looking at the watch, and then actually being able to purchase it felt really nice. So.
I mean, we do have more watches. I mean, we do have very nice looking brands, and actually we have Bulovas. I think you have bought it. A little bit of Bulovas. I don't know if you remember.
No, I haven't gotten one, but I go and
you go and get whatever, yes. So, I mean, Bulovas are great. What do you think is going to be your next watch?
My next watch?
I actually brought some, so you're gonna maybe, I think they're great for you.
Maybe I'll check them out. I think that my next watch, for sure, it's going to be a Casio.
Well, Casio, it's a good watch.
Just like I really like the retro look.
Sorry, bro.
You're good. I really like the retro look, so I think I'm going to buy a Casio. My next big purchase, Maybe a Cartier or
Cartier. You can get a tank. The new tank is really cool. Tank Must is called now.
yeah.
And it's not that expensive. I think it's just like $3,000 or something like that. We can go to the webpage. So the tanks are really cool watches. Tank Must is $3,000, $3,400, something like that. Let's see. Must. No, I don't want to go through all the webpage. But anyways, we can always find you. I can find you the price later. But I mean, you can get that, or something that I recommend too is the Santos stainless steel.
I think the Santos are super
You can get the
sick.
blue dial. That's the best thing the best Santos you can have at this point, I guess.
The blue dial? What do you mean the blue dial?
The blue dial. You can get the white dial, but still, I think the blue is actually more desired at this point.
Really?
And let's go on men's watches.
You know what I've always liked about
I got the regular size. This one. This is the one I have right now.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to get those. That one looks really nice too. It kind of looks like your Seiko, your first, or I'm sorry, your Bulova, like the square look.
Yes, square look watches. I mean, I got the regular square because I think I got the standard size because it's the original size of the tanks basically.
Yeah.
Because now it's everything. Now it's everything more. It's bigger than before. So I guess we're going back to small watches. But let me show you. I mean, I don't want to go through Cartier right now. Let me show you what I have here. Because these are great watches, and I brought them. These are brand new.
Ooh,
Let me wear my glove. So we have two Tudors. These are not necessarily, but I mean, just to make it better.
Is there like the comments pop up, right?
I'm not sure. Let me check it out. Let me see. Someone is commenting.
Yeah, right. It'll come out.
Yeah. Nice Bulova. Saludos a la gente.
How's it going?
So, let's see how it goes. Tutor. This is the Black Bay 58. Black Bay 58. This is actually one of the best Tudors you can have right now, in my personal opinion. I really like it. These are 39 millimeters, and price tag for this is only $3,475. And this is a very interesting strap. I'm going to tell you the story right now. And this is my favorite. This is one of the new ones. The Tudor Black Bay 58 in blue dial. Very nice looking piece. And the story that this bracelet is, it's supposedly the Tudor sent just the cases to the French army. So the French army was making their own bracelets because they didn't have the bracelet, of course. So they were using the parachutes.
Oh wow!
To make this. So this is why this is a very iconic bracelet on the Tudor. So if I get a Tudor, probably the one I'm gonna get is the Black Bay 58, but in sterling silver.
Yes, you can order this from the website or no? This band or like is this like a Tudor?
I think
brand?
you can. Not sure. No, I don't. You know what? I don't think you can because it's sister brand is Rolex. So I don't think you can buy it online. But we have it at the store, so you can stop by the store and we can order as many bands you need, or we can order as many watches you need. At this point, we still can place orders for Tudors. But more likely in the future, we don't know what's going to happen. I think it's following the same steps.
Yeah, I think it's crazy
Rolex,
that this is becoming like the new Rolex if you think about it. Or I mean, not really, but like.
But I mean, it's kind of like level, taking the market in a way that it used to be probably 50 years ago.
I feel like Tudor used to be like, oh, it's like that like ugly cousin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or,
but to be honest, no, because they were released probably around 10 years later than Rolex or something like that. So they're pretty old. They're pretty
great,
old brand.
But I mean that like I just think that like when you would mention Tudor, people like, oh, what's that? Or oh, it's like the same sister brand as like Rolex. And I feel like now they're kind of becoming like more sought after. And I do think that when the Black Base came out, that really caused a big. Do
you like more the blue or the black? The blue is really cool. I think pops up more than the black.
But yeah, I think that the white dials they pop out more. This is a nice watch, man.
So anytime you need, I can help you with those.
For sure.
So I think eventually this is what's gonna take the place of just walking into a store and buying a nice watch. Tudor might be the one instead of now Rolex. You know what's happening, bro. You know what's happening with the prices. With the Tiffany, what the heck is going on, man? $34,000 for the 36, 40-some thousand for the 41 millimeters. Man, that's crazy.
They just released the prices, right?
The what?
For the new.
No, it was actually on January. They changed prices 5% up. And you know what? It's good. that we're talking about the prices, because some of the models, they just, especially the ones with diamonds and gold, went down in price.
Yeah, I was hearing that mostly the sporty ones are the ones that kind of went up in price, right?
Even more than 5% in some cases. Like Steel Sub went $1,000, GMT's $1,000 also, and it was crazy because I ordered. It was a 31 millimeter. I think it was a 31 millimeter rose gold mother of pearl dial with diamond bezel, and they were paying maybe like around $23,000, $24,000 for the watch, 22, something around that. But when the watch came in, it was lower the price. So I was like, what the heck? It wasn't supposed to be up. But I mean, as far as anything, we have to sell it with the new price. So they got it cheaper than when they actually ordered it. So it's crazy.
That's a cool discount.
Yeah, that's a cool discount. Yeah, it definitely.
What do you think the reason of these, the raising of the prices? Do you think it's like the demand, the market, or a mixture of both?
What I always tell my customers, I really think it's a combination of everything, bro. One of the best or the factors that are taking the market as these crazy prices is the money is being printed. It's already there. It's already on the market.
Yeah.
So
and it's getting bought.
People say, "Oh, it's a bubble. It's gonna pop out or anything." I mean, I don't think I don't think, bro, because the money's already there. I mean, it's not something that happened like in 2008 or anything like that. This is a whole different situation. So, and people are realizing that there's more cash than watches. So I guess that's
also
why
an investment. If you think about it, like you can get a watch and then you can hold it and it might go up in value. More
Definitely
likely it will,
I really think there's different ways of collecting. There's people who collect, like you said, like, oh, this one is going to hold value, this one is going to hold value, so I'm going to have all these watches that are always going to hold value. And I think it's fair. But of course, everybody wants to feel like they're winning in a certain way, right? So I really think, to me personally, that when I started collecting watches, that I'm still collecting watches. Of course, if you get a good deal, if you get a hold of one of these watches, what's the most underrated watch in your opinion?
The most underrated watch in your opinion?
Yeah, I know. It's a Cellini. I really think it's the Cellini, bro. Cellinis are very underrated. They're great watches. They're gold pieces. And
I got it.
There you go, live chat. So
how is a Tudor sister to Rolex?
How is Tudor sister? Well, they're created for the same, same founder. Same founder, same company, and everything. So that's how they're sister brands. But Rolex doesn't have an owner though. It's like charities. So everything, all the money that they're making, I guess, they're donating it to different charities.
Oh, really?
Or they have their own stuff, something like that. Yes. So cool.
What was that one watch that you just said?
I don't remember. I just lost the.
You said that he asked what was the most underrated watch.
Oh, the most underrated watch I think is the Cellini, bro.
What's a
Cellini? The Rolex Cellini. It's the one.
I think soccer when I think Cellini.
No, it's a leather bracelet.
Oh, Cellini.
Cellini. I call it Cellini. I mean, probably I'm pronouncing it wrong, but that's my accent. Sorry for that.
You're good.
They actually we can order any of these anymore. You can still find it on the webpage, but the only one that is available is the Moonface. This one.
Oh, that's clean, man. And what it changes? Does it change to like the sun whenever it's during the day, or no? It's just moon.
It's the moon. Yeah, it's just moon. Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess it tells you night and day and everything. So I haven't really have a whole of those watches. I haven't been able to play with those in a while. Haven't seen them probably in about 2 years. So the market wasn't as it is right now. So I think it's one of the most underrated watches on the market, especially for Rolex. But
do you see these watches becoming like, how Daytona, how it just do you see that happening with the Cellini maybe in the future becoming something like that, or?
I don't think so, unless something happens, like someone very famous wears the watch, now everybody wants the watch.
That's crazy,
and then
right?
I think that's one of the situations that happens with the green dial Daytona. So when it was released, it was like, meh. And then some famous guy was wearing the watch, and then another guy, and this guy, and like everybody wants the same watch, and that's what's hitting the prices up. You know what happened? The same thing happens with the Tiffany dial. When Patek released the new watch, with actual collaboration with Tiffany, because Rolex is actually just a nickname. It's not an actual collaboration with Tiffany, but Patek it is. So when they released the watch, everybody, what I have understood that the price went up, it was because in that action, like live action, whatever it's called. Sorry for the pronunciation again.
Oh, you're good.
But they auctioned a watch with the Tiffany dial, and it sold for $35,000, $40,000, something like that. So now that's the market price. it's already
That's
set on the
crazy.
market. So
Yeah.
if someone buys the watch for that price, that means there's people paying that
Willing to
price for
pay
the
that.
watch. So as long as that keeps happening, these prices, we're going to continue seeing what's happening at this
I
point.
mean, it's getting bought. It's one thing if these prices were put at that and it wasn't getting bought. But
It looks good for us that we're selling pieces, but to be honest, it's becoming harder for us that we're on the market to deal with these watches and customers and everything like that. So I think this is one of the situations, and I don't think the prices are gonna go down again. Same thing happens with the housing market.
Yeah, they're just going up.
Prices went up for maybe double the price of your house, at least 40%. That was the money that was printed. I think it was 40% of the dollars that was already in the market that was printed in the last 2 years. So as long as that happened, same thing happened with the watch.
Yeah,
With the watch and
you know,
the
it's
housing
crazy how
industry.
this pandemic, I guess maybe people just realize that, you know, YOLO or something.
YOLO.
It's crazy.
You never know
like-
what's gonna happen, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
when the pandemic started, some of my friends and customers, they were being, paranoid, like, I'm gonna sell everything, and I don't know this and that. So a lot of people sold watches for cheap prices, and then the other thing, the opposite happened. So prices went up. People were getting desperate to buy in those watches. They were actually paying over the set price on the market. So I think
that was
hard
just
times are good
crazy.
times to buy.
Even cars too, if you think about it, the car market. I mean, the car, the housing, watches, everything, just like
Materials, furniture, everything went up, bro. It's
yeah.
crazy.
I was talking to one of my buddies. He's a realtor. He was saying that he was talking to a builder. This guy's having to order windows 8 months before. Like he says that whenever he closes a deal, the first thing he does is he orders windows because there's like some kind of shortage for windows apparently.
Oh,
or
good thing
something.
you told me because I bought a house and I'm actually waiting for my windows. Not my windows, it's actually just like the covers of the windows.
Oh, okay.
And it's been on back order for like several months. It's crazy,
yeah,
bro.
it's crazy. Everything's just on a demand. It's like nuts.
So at the end of the day, as long as we continue seeing this situation, watches are going to continue going up. So if that's continue happening with Rolex, Patek, and AP and all those watches, I think these sister brands are going the one who's going to take over the market at this point. So let's see what's going to happen. So
I feel like a lot of it was too that once Rolex kind of sold a lot of watches, people started looking into these pieces too. I mean, you walk into a watch store and oh, do you have any Rolex? Like no, but we have Tudor, and it's like
these pieces actually the Black B58s you can find there on the gray market for our retail price. So this one it's
oh really
$3,800, and you might find it on the gray market for 5,000, 34,
Wow.
4,500 at least for what you paid for the watch. So that's a good sign of the future of the brand, in my personal opinion. I think that's one.
No, I mean that's a very good take on it. I do. It's really nice. The movement's really, really, really slick.
Could be one of your next ones.
We'll see. I really want to get that Casio, honestly.
I
just
got a Casio for
Casios,
my
man.
birthday way. I got the vintage collection. I think I made a video for that. Hey, you saw that?
Yeah, I saw that one. It was nice.
It's actually really, really nice.
don't know.
Other guy from the watch club too got the Casio with the Pac-Man. Pac-Man
that's
version.
so
That's
cool.
so cool, man.
Yeah, I guess maybe I'm just a nerd by heart, man. I just like little
I think it's collect. I mean, like I was saying in the beginning, collecting. There's like different ways to collect. I mean, I really like collecting for the look. So I have G-Shocks. I have the Casio también, the vintage collection. I have Rolex. I have Rolex. I have Cartier. Even a Guess. And I wanna tell you the story. So first, like I'd say, when I bought this watch, I felt like, damn, I made this a very nice looking watch. It was my everyday piece. If you can see, it's already worn. So I really enjoyed this watch too much. But then I went to work into another jewelry store, and they were selling Movados. So I was doing a collection for Movados. I mean, a lot of people don't like Movados, but they're Swiss made and are really cool watches. So we sadly don't have those at the store, but we do have Bulovas, we have Tutors, we have Hublot, and we have also Rado. That is a very similar kind of quality into Movados. So I got this one. It's all black. I haven't worn this. Probably I should wear it just to remember. Yeah, it's a nice piece, bro. It's all black. This is probably $1,500 when I bought it. Probably 5-6 years ago.
I like how simple
show it to the camera so they can see it.
Oh, I like how simple it is, but I'm just like kind of stupid, and I just kind of think like, what time is it? Oh wait, I gotta like You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Two,
I mean,
three,
you need to
four.
know about reading the hour because it doesn't have
Yeah.
anything on the dials. That's kind of like their signature. You don't see anything on their dial, so. But they're very.
I think
I like it's very
super
thin. It's
sick.
very thin.
I like the simplicity of it. It's just
I had
like,
three mobiles. I had the leather one, I had the two-tone, and I had the black one.
this was nice.
I sold the other two, and I just kept that one maybe for the, for the story.
Let me check if there's any comments. It doesn't stay for some reason.
It's supposed to be live chat.
It says,
Hi Edgar, I'm on RGB group.
Steve Hall.
Hi Steve House. Thank you Steve for joining. Enjoy, and like I say, hopefully we can continue growing the community. Join Discord if you're on the chat, because WhatsApp it's already full, man. That's crazy. 260 people on the WhatsApp.
Yeah, I guess it's just it's gonna be a battle of getting the WhatsApp users to get on Discord, because I think Discord's kind of a different type of animal. You know, it's very like.
I would like to keep WhatsApp. I think that's great for us, like local people.
Yeah.
We can just keep it, but we can keep it the people who are actually into the idea. Like they're actually commenting and making the group growing. So I think that should be a must.
Yeah, I like
Of course,
the WhatsApp
I mean,
group.
yeah.
It feels like a big group chat.
We also have
if
if you join Discord, you can see the sub chat also, because there's local there's. So if you're local, you should be in a separate thing also. So if you're like international, there's a whole different section for everybody international. So hopefully we can learn everyone together. We can learn together, see what the market is going, and of course networking. I think is very important. We can always help each other to, any questions, whatever you need. If you need whatever, you can just ask the chat and the WhatsApp, and someone knows someone, bro. Someone knows someone.
I'm going to go get my friends to join your group. I'm from England. Oh, cool.
Cool, bro.
Cheers, Steve.
Cheers to England. Salud. No, this is water.
What's your favorite soccer team or football team, Steve? If it's Manchester United, do you see Manchester United, man? They got. Oh, it says, hello, Edgar. Guess from NYC. Will Rolex Air King be discontinued this year? Thanks.
New York. Air King. It could be. It could happen, bro.
You think so?
An Air King. It's how many years it's been already on the market? Not sure.
I'm
probably
not too sure.
Probably like 4 years, 5 or more. Not sure, bro. But I think this is eventually it's gonna happen. I think the one that I see a change will be more in the Milgauss. Not sure why, but I mean it will be great. Rolex is supposed to release new watches on, I think it's May or April. Watches and Wonders. So wait for that. Pretty sure they're gonna surprise us like always. So I'm really excited to see new models. Let's see what they're gonna come out to, and let's see what's gonna happen, bro. Because what I'm more interested is really it's not in the new watches. It's on which watches are they going to discontinue.
That's when
like, bro, I want this fucking watch.
Like the Hulk got discontinued not too long ago, right? And that drove up the price.
It went up the price 20-some thousand. I used to remember we used to have, when the Hulk was released, we used to have probably 2-3 Hulks in stock, and people really didn't like the watch. It was like, it's green, but I think it was like I mean a lot of years ago, and I think like ¿cómo se dice? Como que la moda.
Oh, the style.
The style was very different. So people were more like classy, and they don't want to wear too much colors and everything. And now like everything is about colors.
I agree.
OPs, any OPs. You can find any OPN anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But of course, I think I'm more excited to see which watches they're going to.
I agree with you, because then that kind of sees what drives up and the demand and all that. So the Air King does. I think the Air King is like an amazing timepiece. So.
I love my Sky, bro. I love my Sky, but I still wear my old watches. I should wear my Movado. I really have I should wear this one. You know what? I'm gonna wear it right now.
I'm gonna check out
for the podcast, for the first time, just to remember old times. Now we're new times, right?
Yeah.
So we will really appreciate, guys, to tell us what do you think about the first test of the podcast.
Yeah, let us know what you want us to talk about.
So I think we should leave it right here. No? What do you think? Should we keep talking? I can talk about this topic for 24 hours straight if you want.
Let's see if you have any comments. There's still people watching. We'll see what they. Let's see.
It was great.
Aston Villa's my club, and to the child. Ooh, Aston Villa. Since a child, we don't change football team. Yeah, I know. Funny story before we take off. I have a buddy that's from Liverpool. His favorite team was Crystal Palace because they were like on there, and they told him about that. When you're from England, you keep that football club. So he's a Crystal Palace fan, unfortunately. So yeah.
And I have a last watch that I want to tell my story. This is probably my most valuable watch that I have in my collection.
Really?
I mean, I will show my whole collection probably in the future. I don't feel like I should show it right now.
No,
But this one, this is my most valuable watch that I have in my collection. What do you think it is? What do you think it is?
I don't know. Seiko?
Nah. This is a guess.
Oh,
Guess.
nice. What's the story behind this one?
Well, when I was young, I was probably like 16, 17. One of my first jobs here in the United States, because I'm from Reynosa, Mexico. So when I came here, I was working at the mall. So I was working at Guess. I always like watches, bro. I mean, I understand the market. I understand what's happening with the prices and whatever you spend and this and that. But honestly, I always like watches. I think it's one of the things that I remember from my dad when I was small. He always liked watches. Not sure the brands he was wearing. I probably was too small to remember.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's something that I always liked it. So when I was working at Guess, I bought this watch. Nowadays, with the smartwatches,
Being so popular, do you see a decrease in more smartwatches sales in 20 years?
I will let you know right now. Oh, that's a great question.
That's a really
That's a
good
great
question.
question, bro. Well, let me finish the story. This is a Guess that I bought when I was working at Guess. I actually bought it with a discount, probably like 50% or something. So I gave this
Love discounts.
I gave this to my dad. So in his birthday. So when he passed away, I got the watch back. So now I'll keep it. I keep it forever. I keep it forever. This is always gonna stay in my collection. So
I could see the emotional
attachment to the
that.
piece.
Yeah, definitely.
And going back to the question.
Nice, clean looking watch. Let's see what else there is.
Now let me answer the question about the smartwatches. This is a really nice topic, bro.
Yeah, so just for those of y'all who are tuning in, somebody asked, nowadays with smartwatches being so popular, do you see a decrease in non-smartwatches sales in 20 years?
Well, I'm really forward for technology. I love technology, bro. So I'm not a fan of smartwatches because I want to wear my Rolex or my Seiko or whatever. I like regular watches. So if we can make a watch, like a smartwatch, that it's like a very classy, unique like this, or maybe just a band. You don't need a smartwatch. You can just get like a smart band that tells you everything, and then you can have your regular watch.
That's what I was actually going
to
do.
But as going back to what's happening with the metaverse and NFTs and crypto and all that stuff that is going on right now in the world, I think we're in a very crazy times, and I think we're really we're really gonna see a big change probably in the next 5-10 years. So hopefully the watch market still continue what it is right now, especially for collectors. But as far as smartwatches, I think we can see an increase in sales on those pieces.
Do you see a decrease in these pieces?
I don't see a decrease, but I think, eventually, what happened to pocket watches? Do you have a pocket watch?
I do not.
Do you know someone who's wearing a pocket watch?
I don't.
Me neither, bro. I love them. I loved them when I was a kid. But as far as today, they're always going to be limited assets, kind of like an art piece. That, they're always going to have value and trade and this and that. But eventually, I think, not sure about Rolex, but Hublot is already taking the step forward. They're already making, smartwatches. Heuer too.
Yeah, that's one thing that was very interesting for me, seeing
So I think we're gonna see that
brands like that branch out to the smartwatch market.
I think
we got some more
comments.
So Steve said good night. Says how often live show is gonna be a month? I'll leave that to you, Edgar.
It really depends on the people, from the watch club. I guess we should have different people to come and talk. There's different markets. There's a lot of people on the watch club. There's people from the furniture industry. There's people in the car industry, food, medical. I'm in the jewelry. I mean, it should be a very interesting talks to more people. I guess it should be. It would be cool to see it more often. Probably once a week will be cool, no?
Yeah,
I'm going to continue doing the reviews. I think the reviews are very important to continue growing the channel. And besides, that's the point. It's basically more for you guys, so you guys can take a look at the watches. That was the origins of my YouTube channel. I was never really planning to make a YouTube channel. And I don't know if you remember in the old times when we had the WhatsApp group, I used to record a video and send it. So everybody has to
Yeah, I
download the
remember.
video. And I was like, bro, I don't know how that happened or who told me, like, bro, why did you just don't put it on YouTube and send the link? That way nobody has to download your video. It's annoying. So yeah, so like, yeah, you know what? That's right.
So someone else asked, how many watches do you own? So I'll let you answer first.
How many watches do I own? Well, taking this well, I used to have like maybe like over 20 watches.
Wow.
But not like Rolex and
No, but I
Cartier
mean, that's still a
watches.
lot of
I really
watches.
get rid of a lot of the watches that I really don't have a lot of emotional attachment to them. Like my two Movados, I sold. I used to have Invictus. I mean, I love them. They used to see
No
really cool. I
shame.
mean, I no shame really. I mean, I'm really
They're
up to
nice
collect.
watches. They're, you know, like.
If I tell you a very fun story, when I used to have an Invicta, you know, if you're from Mexico, if you're from Reynosa, you know that, I mean, it's getting crazy, you know, you can trust the police or the people there or anything like that. So I went to Reynosa, you know, I was taking, you know, I was driving my car, dando el rol, como dicen en
I
español.
remember, yeah, my cousin's always.
Dando el rol,
Dando el
comadre.
rol.
It's
For those
so.
of y'all that are not from Mexico,
I remember.
it's they go around like maybe a mile radius and just
Like a
cruise.
block, you just cruise.
That's really what dando rol is.
Dando el rol. Yeah, I know. So I remember that time where I was going to see a friend. So I park in the back of, you know, that block. So I see the military just pulling out, like, hey, what are you doing here? And like, I was like scared. So they pulled me out of the car. They gave me like 2-3 different.
Oh, really? They slapped you
They slapped me around, bro. And they have fucking.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
What can you say? Nah, I mean, okay, you slap me. What the fuck, you know? So they just throw me into my car, like. They basically just wanted the money, bro. And it was the military. Not sure if it was the real military, because, you know, they actually had like fake customs and stuff. So they ended up stealing my Invicta. It was kind of like very similar to a gold Hublot. I don't know if they knew what it was.
Nah,
but
it
it
probably
was,
just looked expensive. They're probably like,
yeah, it looks
like,
expensive. Give me your watch and give me your cap. And like, okay. So I gave him my watch, gave him my cap, and went to home.
That sucks, man. Talking about Invictus, I think it's pretty funny because I saw his meme.
I was laughing now. I'm laughing now. You took my Invicta.
Right? You took my Rolex.
Exactly.
But when I was very getting into watches, I would see an Invicta and I'd be like, is that a Rolex? Like, you know, they look very similar to me. I mean, now that I'm more into watches,
Probably I
can
have some,
tell.
you know, I have pieces of stuff that I used to have, bro. I probably still have something, you know. Let me bring it. It should be very interesting. Give me a second, really quick, guys. Don't leave. You know what? Talking about Invictus.
You was in a Mustang.
I remember this watch, bro. It was actually part of my collection. A Panda, a white Daytona.
Dude, it looks like a Daytona, man. Look at that. Y'all are gonna tell me that if you're at a bar and someone wears this, you're not gonna be like, that could
look
be a
at the
Daytona.
Invicta. You know the story of the watch. I don't even. I used to work. I always been in the jewelry industry, and we used to sell Invictas there. And you know, I might as well always got it with the discount. I got it. And it's really cool looking watch. I didn't even know this market existed before. You know, till I went into collecting actual nice, expensive watches. I understood like, oh, okay, this is what's happening now. But as far as this watch, I kept it. I wear it probably every day. And I used to have a good friend. He used to live around. He's an old dude, but he always come and help me for, you know, for jobs, small jobs here at the house and stuff. So I gave them the watch. It was still in great fucking shape, and it lasted him 3 days.
What
and he came
happened
back
to
with
it?
this. He's always doing stuff with his hands.
Oh,
and so I
might
think he
have
was
just-
working
is it-
into a car or something. So
Man, Invicta,
he brought it back.
that's
So if
crazy.
I can fix it, but he messed it up. This part of the lock from here. So I really don't have.
You just need a new band, I would think, right? Or no?
I mean, I might be able to order it, but I mean,
For an Invicta.
for an Invicta, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it
get
might
it.
be more expensive.
Oh, you
The
know what? Let
bracelet,
me
eh?
rephrase that. An Invicta with no emotional value.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
If you know, this had
Rephrase
emotional
it.
value
Exactly.
to you,
That's
then
good that
I
you
do-
rephrased it. Because I
do
don't want
see
to.
that.
I mean, they're still very nice looking pieces. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, I think
They're
that-
copying other pieces, but I mean, still, for collecting, when you don't know about the whole watch industry, you don't even know what you're buying.
Yeah.
Just like how it looks, take it. Had
Yeah,
a chrono, white dial. It was pretty cool looking to me. I didn't even know there was a Daytona very similar to that. Now I know, right?
Yeah. But I think that I think it costs you more to fix this watch than what it actually costs you to buy it.
That's,
You know what
that's
I
my
mean?
point.
So you
Yes,
gotta
yes,
think about that whenever you break a watch. Like, is it really worth? What's the emotional, attachment to it? But
I really don't have any. And what else do I have here? Well, I already talked about, I already talked my Bulovas.
So,
You know what? Maybe for this podcast now, I'm gonna wear the Guess watch.
just bought an Invicta Venom NFL Dallas Cowboys edition.
Dallas, oh, cool.
Nice.
That's cool. Dallas Cowboys. I wish hopefully we win a Super Bowl.
Swiss made. Probably not till I'm like 35, man. The Cowboys are terrible. And I'm a Cowboys fan. Most of the Invicta were Swiss made about 10 years ago, but now most are not Swiss made. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
This one actually, I think it says Swiss made. Oh no, it says Japan movement.
Yeah.
I thought it was Swiss.
There's a stigma about Japanese movement, but I think that it's not a bad movement, Like
It's different than a Chinese quality.
definitely.
Japanese is having a Toyota.
Yeah.
It's very good quality. They work great, and Toyotas are Japanese. So Japanese pieces, to my personal taste, I think Seikos are Japanese.
Yeah.
They were one of the first digital watches in the market, if not the first. So Japanese, they've always been on top on their stuff. So more likely we're going to see Japanese brands with smartwatches. Let's see what's happening with those.
We'll see.
That would
I
be
personally like smartwatches. I think it's nice to track your health and stuff like that. But I there's nothing like having a nice piece. I mean, even if it's just like a Fossil or a Seiko or anything, I just think that it looks nice. And I mean, like Apple Watches, it's just like a big square on you. I find it really interesting how the square became a fashion thing. Like when it first came out, I was like, man, what's that guy wearing? He has like a square on his wrist. And now you see somebody with an Apple Watch and it's like the norm. I think that's crazy.
Oh, you're right. They're all square.
You know what I mean? Like when it
Well,
first
if you
came
get
out.
unless you get a Samsung smartwatch, it's
right.
round.
I
but yeah.
don't want to be green.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think we could end it here.
41 minutes. We said 15. Now it's 41.
Yeah.
I think it took double than what we were expecting. I mean, we can continue talking about a lot of stuff actually, but I mean,
you can save it for the next one. Just we can.
You should come probably more often too. It
Yeah,
was a good talk, bro.
Yeah, good talk.
So, yeah.
So if you catch me out in bars with this watch, just know I'm wilding out. I'm about to scratch it.
that's the point of this. So, thank you very much, Ray. Salud con agua.
Salud con
You know,
agua.
you gotta be healthy too. No, everything is just watches. You gotta be healthy.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should leave it here, bro. We really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for the support, for being part of the Watch Club, and hopefully we can continue growing this community. Hopefully we can help each other with, anything we need. I think it's been working great. And now that we're growing the international community, so let's see where it's going to take us. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We had at least 10 people almost watching the whole video.
Yeah, that was nice. So
It was nice for being the first one.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, everyone, for watching us. Please give us your comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me which topics we would like to see in this channel. What is the next show? Hopefully we should do it next week. Probably we should make it a thing all Saturdays.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, all Saturdays. I guess
It'll be for sure on a Saturday. So
it's just going to be an excuse for having friends to come and talk.
Yeah.
Take some drinks.
Yeah, that's always nice.
It's always nice. So hopefully we can see you guys next Saturday. Let's see how it goes. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And I guess we should just leave it there, Ray.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Later, guys.
Let's see how this one should end.
You press the X.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, bye.